Good morning. Good morning. How are you? I hope you're safe and well, especially with all the bad weather that we've got promised. We've had Storm Dudley, although, as a friend of mine said on Facebook, I can only ever say it in a Brummie accent. Storm Dudley, with apologies to all people from the Birmingham region. Um, and we're waiting on Storm Eunice. Funnily enough, our receptionist back in the day at Rumpelink Leeds was a very formidable lady called Eunice. So if the storm is anything like her, we're in for a very interesting time. Anyway, where are we? Biocides regulation in the EU. Very, very interesting post on LinkedIn from a lady who is with Noel, pointing out that the amendment that's just come in for biocides technically increases the applicability of the BPR. I'm just going to put the link below this video now, as per usual. And obviously within that, she's got a link to the amending regulation itself. What's happened is a company in Denmark, I think, were advertising a long-term cleaning product, and it was used for, presumably paths and things like that against algae. And although they only called it long-term cleaning, it's been brought within scope. Now, traditionally with BPR, it's always been about making a claim to kill something, not just to clean something up. So if this is correct, and her interpretation is correct, then it's going to extend the scope of BPR quite significantly. And it's something that if you are in the biocides or indeed in the cleaning sphere, you need to be aware of. Now, we've known about this in surfactants, including back in the Rumpelink days. We had some surfactants that were also partly biocidal. It was like a side effect of the intended cleaning. And of course, when the biocides regulations started to come in, we stopped mentioning their biocidal activity. It still occurs. You can't stop it. And it is desirable in a lot of contexts, but we couldn't make those claims on the label. And I know that this is something that's going to affect quite a few companies. Anyway, leaving that on one side. Oh, what's the next thing we were going to talk about? Let me just check and see. Sorry, having one of those days. Yes, got it. Some interesting signs, and it's from Steptoe. They've had a look at the SVHC list as being reviewed by HSE. Sorry about the pings, that's emails coming through. And they've done an article on what they think is happening with SVHCs in the UK. Because apparently, and link going below this article now, apparently we've got something like 13 to review, and actually only 4 are being brought forward for further consideration in the UK at the moment. And Steptoe think this is because the UK are going to be focusing on the things that they consider to really matter rather than a sort of a broader range. So it is consistent with that view, but it will be interesting to see what happens in the longer term, whether the HSE then go back and review things that they weren't so bothered about to start with, and we end up with complete sort of similarity, or more likely, as Step to indicate, that we end up with divergence between the two lists. And of course, that really matters if you're doing safety data sheets, because the presence of an SVHC can trigger that. And it also matters for articles people, because then you're getting into, hang on, this suddenly needs in the EU to be notified to the SCIP database. So yeah, SVHC list is such a sort of fundamental thing when you're talking about a lot of the concerns that people have. I know that many consumer companies will actually not accept any products that have SVHCs in them. So it could mean you're selling something, all of a sudden it's on the SVHC list. You have to reformulate your product, which is then going into B&Q and Tesco and wherever. So it's important for a lot of people for a lot of reasons. Righty-ho, that's the work side of things. And you'll be thinking, what are we going to have today for our reasons to be cheerful? And I don't know if it's just me or if it's or if you're aware of this as well, because it's not been widely publicized in certain sections of the media, but there is a massive demonstration in Canada at the moment. And I thought, well, Canada, let's have some Gordon Lightfoot. I'm going to blame Mike for this as well. He's been playing some Gordon Lightfoot lately. Now, if you're old and you're used to the 1970s, you'll remember he wrote some beautiful, beautiful songs, and he's kind of underrated today as Gordon Lightfoot. I'm just putting the link to Gordon Lightfoot's greatest hits. Enjoy, and it's a reminder of happier days in Canada too. So whatever you're doing today, I hope you manage to avoid Storm Eunice. I hope she doesn't hit with the ferocity that's been predicted. And I look forward to chatting to you again sometime next week. Oh, and by the way, Annex A issues, still no word. The HSE have confirmed that it's definitely Department of Health and Social Care. I've tried to make a notification for Northern Ireland to NPIS, and I haven't had a response back yet. That was on Wednesday. They're usually fairly quick, so I think that there's a bit of a crisis at the moment there. But obviously, I'll keep you posted if anything happens in the meantime. Have a good weekend. Take care of yourselves. Bye.